Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel and welcome to Christmas in January. Today I am documenting some fun photos that are basically a comparison of Christmas 2 years ago to Christmas this year with regard to my grandson and my great niece and how much they've grown. And so you can see the photos there. They are in their stockings for both years, so that gives a good comparison. The stockings are the same, just the ones where they're babies. They weren't completely decorated or anything because they were both quite early. My grandson was 4 weeks early, and I believe she was 5 or 6 weeks early. So in the photo, he's 7 weeks old and she is 1 week old. And then in the other photo, they are both 2 and they're there with their mommies. So I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut out these poinsettias, and those are from a Kaisercraft collection called Letters to Santa, and that paper is called Carolers. And then the background paper is from their Christmas edition collection, also from Kaisercraft, and it's called Christmas Tale. And I've had these papers in my stash for a while, so they're a few years old by now. I don't even know if you can find them at this point, but in case you wanted to know, that's what they were. So I'm going to fussy cut out the poinsettias. I'm going to keep all of the little green sprigs that are sticking out on the corners there, but I'm not keeping the little berries because they're just too hard to cut because it's just a single line that is holding them on there. So I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm just going to trim them off, and that's going to, I'm not even going to put anything in its place. So basically this particular series is something that we're doing the 25th of every month, and we are going to bring you a project that is Christmas related. Some people will be catching up on their December dailies or December documented, if you will. Some will be just doing regular Christmas layouts like I'm doing this particular month, and then we could also make cards. You could also make stocking stuffer gifts, like maybe those things that have the belly band that you stick your gift cards in, that kind of stuff. So you never know what you're going to get. But it is the 25th of each month, and there are a bunch of ladies that are playing along. So you can find those links in my description box down below, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I believe Moira was the one who put this together, so thank you, Moira, for doing that, and I am looking forward to playing along each month. Hopefully I have, well, I should have plenty of stuff because I have all of my December stuff for last year to do. You can see my hands kind of flying there. I am also on a Zoom call while I'm actually creating this. So I probably was talking to somebody on the Zoom call. So when I do my fussy cutting, I still use my regular Tim Holtz 9.5 inch shears, and they work great unless I'm trying to get into a little tiny area that it just can't fit into. Like on this particular thing, it's not going to matter, but sometimes on a cut file, you have to like get into an area really small. Then I'll use like my little tiny scissors, and they're even smaller than the small Tim Holtz ones. If you don't like the Tim Holtz ones because they leave like a serrated edge, turn the scissors over and try them that way, because only one edge is apparently serrated. I learned that a while back from Iris Fox, who is Whimsy Fox. I think that's her YouTube handle, but I learned that a while back from her, and it's great. I have no problems with using those scissors for everything. They cut so well. So I'm going to go ahead and back the photos with white cardstock, and then I'm going to use the back side of that poinsettia paper, which is that green that you're seeing there. And I really like the way it looks. It kind of pops everything off of the background paper. The background paper is super busy with all of that text, and so there's not going to be a ton of embellishment on here, and it really just didn't need a ton with the big poinsettia spray across the bottom. It did need a little bit of color on that background paper though, so I'm going to dig out my little ink, they're little Prima chalkers, chalk edge inkers. Oh my goodness, I can't speak today. So yeah, they're from Prima, and I think I'm just going to end up using English Ivy as the color, so you're going to see that in a minute. And I'm going to go all the way around the outer edge and give it just a little bit of green. I am popping the whole poinsettia foliage piece there up onto foam tape, and that's just the cheap stuff from Walmart where it is adhesive on one side. And I like how that looks. It gives a little bit of dimension. There's the ink edgers. I'm using that because I don't have my distress inks handy right at the moment, so these are handy and ready to go pretty much. If I travel, I just grab those little bags. I have 2 bags full. I take at least one of them with me because there's like a random sampling of each color family in each bag. So I really like how that looks, and it brings in more green, which is nice because I have the green around the photos and then the green in that big sprig there, or spray, whatever you call that. And so then I decided there's holly pieces up at the top corners needed a little bit of color, so I'm using that same English Ivy ink with a little bit of water, and I'm doing kind of like a little watercolor effect. I'm not using a ton of water, I'm just enough to kind of get everything moving around, and I like how that looks. It just brings a little bit of extra pizzazz to the top of the layout. And like I said, it doesn't need a ton of embellishments because it's busy already, and then by adding the color up here, it just gives it a nice little pop of color, bringing all of the color from the bottom all the way up to the top, so that works out nice. And then I also have this red inker, and let me see if I know the color off the top of my head. Well, actually it's not off the top of my head. I believe it's Brick Wall that I'm using there just to color the holly berries. And then I had this little wood veneer, it's not wood veneer, it's wood grained paper that says Christmas Wishes. That is also from one of the Kaisercraft collections. You can see all the ephemera there to the right, so I'm just pulling some pieces from that. I like this piece that says Joy. It brings in a lighter color down at the bottom, lightens up the darkness of the wood grain, and those are both popped up onto foam. And then I had toyed with putting that postage stamp thing down there, but I end up not using it because I've already got the rectangle of the Christmas Wishes. I didn't want more rectangular looking pieces layered. I didn't want like labels or anything like that. I just wanted to have the softness of the round piece. And I'm not really putting a title per se on this. I'm just going to leave it with the We Wish You a Merry Christmas at the top. But the top of the photo with them as babies or as infants is going to say First Christmas, and then down here below this other one it says 2 years later, and then eventually I am going to put the numbers 2020 down below where it says Christmas Wishes at the bottom. That will be the last thing that I do. And then I am also going to use a little Heidi Swap Color Shine in gold to sprinkle into those 2 clusters. And I don't show you that on screen because I kind of did it as an afterthought. What I'm doing here is I'm just putting the word Christmas spelled out onto my ruler because I was going to put it at the top of the photo, but I didn't know if I should start on the right or the left because I wasn't sure how much room it was going to take up. And lo and behold, it takes up the whole top of the photo, so I really didn't need to do that, but that's the way I kind of figured out how big it was. I did want to add a little bit of journaling, and because there's so much text on the background paper, I decided to put it on a tag. The journaling is not hidden for any specific reason. I'm not telling any like crazy story or anything that is private. It's just to note that they've grown so much in just 2 years, and how fun Christmas is having 2 toddlers around. You know, it was fun the first year too because they were super cuddly, but she was like just 1 week old and he was 7 weeks old. We didn't know what was going on. So this being the second year is just really, I don't know, it was just a lot of fun because they're able to really enjoy things. And actually this is actually their 3rd year because the first year they had turned 1, but Noah wasn't here for Christmas because he was sick. So here are the close-ups. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you really enjoy this series. I will see you back here. Oh, I also added enamel dots. Sorry for not telling you that. I'll see you back here next month on the 25th for another creation. Bye.